Andrew Wilson just demolishes and humiliates this OF girl. And if you don't know what OF is, you know, the OnlyFans thing. Yeah, well, she was shocked that her boyfriend cheated on her while she is simultaneously getting railed by other men. And you know what? Andrew Wilson and Brian have to set her straight. By the way, make sure you like today's video, subscribe to the channel. I post 2 new videos every single day. We'll get right into it.
He cheated on me, so yeah.
Huh? Wait, hold on. you do boy-girl content.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Okay. And he cheated on you with?
Someone that I didn't know about. That's where
Okay.
the cheating comes in. More lying, I guess. I mean, it's cheating and lying.
But
so.
to be clear, so you, while in a relationship, monogamous relationship with you, he was having sex with other women.
It was like more like an emotional thing, which I
having?
kind of found worse. Was he was like talking to someone? Oh,
One sec.
Killer of Cereal donated $200. My new favorite question for the panel.
I haven't written it down.
Most embarrassing moment on a date? Brian, apologies for last episode. That screeching banshee was under my skin. Didn't mean to be demanding.
Hey, Killer
Great show.
Cereal. All good, man. By the way, I don't know if you caught the end of the show. We had forgotten to ask this precise question. I have it written down in my my notes here to actually ask it, and I have your name here. Sorry that we kind of missed it there. Just pretty hectic show, but you didn't have to do that. I was actually going to ask that, but thank you for the TTS, man. Appreciate it. Really good to see in the stream. So you said it was emotional cheating.
yeah. He was like talking to someone for like over a month, and it was just like, I don't know. We were falling off at that point, anyways. So like, I kind of understood, but it still was like saddening.
Okay. So he didn't like.
Hold up. Imagine being a guy dating a girl that makes sex content, not only of herself, but with other men. Sorry, you're a beta cuck loser. And yeah, I mean, I don't know who's worse. The guy that dates her and cheats on her. I mean, of course, she's very deserving of being cheated on since she's cheating on him for her job. Her job. I don't care if it's or OF. I don't care. You're still doing it. It's disgusting. I don't know who's worse. They both are. You know what? I'll say the man is worse just because I expect more from a man. I expect more. Women, the bar set very low, especially in today's crazy world. Am I right?
Have hook up?
No, as far as I know, at least. I mean, who knows?
Interesting. Okay. He didn't have any issues with the fact that you were like sleeping with men for work,
He
granted. but-
kind of had issues at first, but like, I don't know. Then it just like went away, I guess, and he just didn't care anymore. But
Question, did you meet him prior to starting work in the industry?
no, so I've
Okay,
been in
so
the
he knew
industry for
going
about
in.
4 years.
He knew going
yeah.
in?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But then as the relationship developed, he started to have an issue with it.
Well, yeah, like as it developed in the beginning, he had an issue, and then it went away, and it was like fine, and
Yeah.
then we broke up, basically.
Would there be like a waiting period? Like if you have a scene, or like would he want to wait to like smash?
No,
like a
I
week
mean,
or
we
like a
never like
fortnight?
talked about that at least.
Like, but would you give him like a heads up, like a like?
I mean, he knew.
Hey,
I would be like,
buddy,
"Hey,
like,
I'm
I'm
going to
fucking
a shoot
somebody else today."
today."
What's
So
that?
I'd be like, "Hey, I'm going to a shoot today."
But what if it's like a shoot, but there's like no D? Like it's just
Did
like
you
a
guys
chick.
did you guys ever do the deed after you went to a shoot?
Oh,
I mean, not that I can think of. I didn't write it down. I don't know.
Andrew, she was not keeping track. You know. Okay, all right.
I'm curious what he took issue with. Like, is it insecurity? Is it?
Oh, no.
And I'm wondering if you have dealt with a similar.
oh my gosh. I love this idea from women that, oh, he's mad at you because you're literally having sex with other men for money. He must be insecure. No, you're insecure as a guy if you're okay with being with a woman who does that. I'm sorry. I cannot stand it. It's when women who want to be in relationships while simultaneously dressing like hoes, they think, oh, my man is so offended if I dress like a whore in public. He's too insecure. He doesn't deserve me. It's like, no, he's actually trying to protect you because why does he, well, I'm not going to get into all of that because that could stir up a lot of trouble, but he's A, trying to protect you, and B, why does he want his property, his woman, to be on display for everyone else to see? Like, that is for him. That is his property. I am so proud to be my husband's property. There's nothing else I'd want to be in this entire world. Nothing.
I mean,
thing with
not every man definitely wants to see the person they love getting pounded on TV. Other people don't care.
You don't say.
I feel like that's something that if you are seeking, like if you are in the industry and you want to go and get into a relationship with a civilian, that is something that, should be discussed and learn your boundaries for each other. Like maybe it's no kissing, maybe don't call them this or that, whatever the boundary may be. It's up to the two people to respect each other's boundaries. And if it's something you can't do, then that obviously that relationship just isn't for you.
I just ask, I could be generalizing, and I don't know, Brian, if you come across this on the show often, but I don't know, I feel like a guy who is, I'm generalizing here again, but a guy who's like secure enough in himself and in you and your choices and your power and what you want to do, why would you have an issue with that? On the guy's end, you know what I mean? Like, I love what you said about, communicating.
What?
Communicating and being transparent. And
Yeah, thank you. The two guys on the panel are like sitting there trying not to die laughing because what are you talking about, bitch?
There's boundaries. Who said what? What does that mean?
Wait, so you're saying if the guy is secure, he won't have an issue with it?
Exactly. If it's made in the woman's choice and her power, and she's well knowing and full knowing, like, hey, this is what I do for a living, this is what I want to do, then it's like roll with or roll out. Like they should respect that.
What does insecurity mean from your perspective?
Well, you guys are saying if they're watching you, get smashed, as you said, I assume that that would make them feel insecure, right? And
or maybe
wait,
just uncomfortable sometimes.
because why else? Well,
Couldn't
think about
that just be gross?
Yeah, I don't think it necessarily means they're insecure. It could make people uncomfortable,
But
like
let's
as someone
get
in the
to
industry.
I guess what I'm getting at, and you guys are guys, let's get to the root of why, though. That's what I'm saying.
But
is it stigmatized because it's like, quote, gross? It's like,
What do you mean? Hold
I
on.
can explain it
Remove
to
the
you.
air quotes on gross, by the way, but go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, it's not a stigmatization.
Point proven.
It's not a stigmatization. From your purview, you believe evolution is true?
Of course.
Yeah, so if you believe evolution is true, before we had DNA testing, how would you determine whether or not a child was yours from a male's perspective? How would you be able to determine that?
Hang on. I'm talking about in a controlled
So hang on.
work
Hang
environment.
on. Don't
like these ladies
obfuscate.
are
Don't
talking
obfuscate.
about.
Let's stay. Hang on. Let's stick
I'm
with this.
not.
Let's stick with this because I'm trying to answer your question.
Let's go evolution.
Okay.
Let's go.
How would a man determine paternity before there was DNA testing? How could he do that? How could he determine that's my child?
Why are we talking about childbirth?
Answer the question.
I feel like we're getting persecuted. Before DNA testing?
Yeah. How do you think a man would be able to best determine whether a child was his or not?
Their partners, how the child
How many
looked.
Yeah.
People
So if they were in a relationship where the woman was only sleeping with him, and that could be determined she was only sleeping with him, that would assure paternity, right?
Sure, but
Yeah.
if we're talking, if we're talking evolution, knowing about evolution, that going way back, right, men biologically, even now to this day, why men are so visual, so physical, have that impulse to survive, spread their seed, basically bone everybody, right? Where women tend to be the nurturers, but wait, hang on a sec. Women tend to be the nurturers, right? There's a different role that now we're trying to navigate that, like those Neanderthal tendencies in a modern world.
But I'm not sure
But
that
by
negates
logic,
the point, though.
But by that logic, the women, it could go the other way, right?
No. So let us assume for a moment
No.
that you're correct, and that every that every man on
I've
planet
studied
Earth
this.
wants to hump as many women as they possibly can. Let's just assume it for the sake of argument that they do. Okay. That still would have nothing to do with wanting the women that they're sleeping with to sleep with other men. And the reason for this is because of the assurance of paternity. Women can take the DNA from multiple men, but there's no assuredness that that then is going to be your child. That's the problem. And so the reason it's ingrained in men to find it revolting when their significant other is sleeping with another person besides them at any point, at least this is most most men is because that's ingrained in us because of that paternal
But
issue.
you're missing my point. You said it's revolting for men, right? It's a societal standard because of this. It's like when a woman sleeps around, she's
That's
a slut.
soci-
When a
that's
guy,
sociological.
Hang on a second,
I'm saying it's
please.
biological.
Wait, hang on. When a man sleeps around, he's a stud. So by that logic, you say repulse, revolt. It should be the other way around, right? Women are
no,
like revolted
it
of
wouldn't be the
men
other way
sleeping
around.
around. It's like I'm just saying.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be the other way around. You're talking about a
Right, you're proving my point.
No, I'm not. You're talking about a sociological versus a biological phenomenon. So the sociology,
but they
I'm
meet.
kind of trying to explain it to
Okay.
you. The sociology is meeting with the biology. True. But why? Well, it's meeting with the biology because men are revolted by promiscuous women. Women are not necessarily revolted by promiscuous men. That's
Right.
so.
It's
hang on, hang
biology
on,
and culture.
hang
Like,
on,
we've been
hang on. Let me
indoctrinated with
finish. You can talk
religion,
in a
with-
second. I'm almost done.
Okay. Oh, thanks for
Okay,
your
so
permission.
after we get this foundational principle established that men are generally revolted by promiscuous women, but women are not generally revolted by promiscuous men biologically. Yes, the sociological phenomenons which spiral out of that, that's true, but it's the basis of it is the biological phenomenon.
I think we're kind of saying the same thing,
don't think
sort of,
we are.
not really.
No.
Can I interject really quick?
Yes.
I wasn't sure if I was going to bring this up earlier, but I'll say in the least detailed way, I used to be a sex worker. And I was a sex worker that involved sleeping with men. And Liza we were in a relationship for a period during that time.
Is it like, you talking about prostitution?
Not exactly, and I don't want to get into the details on here, but
Okay.
and I did do OnlyFans, so I can relate to some of these ladies. I wasn't on professional sets, but
Were you escorting?
in a way, I don't know if I want to say it on the internet right now, but my point is
Whatever
that
fan
One moment.
donated $200. Seeing my girl getting pounded out by a bunch of dudes is a hard no for me, dog. Pause. Most dudes do not want to wife a girl who sleeps around even if it's for work purposes.
Yeah. You're not an insecure guy if you don't want to sleep with a girl or be with a girl who sleeps with other people. Come on. Guys. If you are a guy and you don't tell your woman that she is your property, you're probably gay. I don't make the rules. That's just how it is. And girls, get on board. Get excited to be a man's property. It is an honor, okay?
Andrew Cook.
right.
Go
And
ahead,
so
go ahead.
what I'm
Thank you,
talking
whatever
about now is, I think, a really unique perspective as a lesbian with a woman partner.
Ugh, you look like a lesbian. I could tell. It's obvious.
And Liza can correct me if I'm wrong, but she loved me through the whole thing. She supported me, and there was an insecurity there because of the fact that Liza knows that we used to always joke about it the last 12 years. Like, she wins. Like, anyone I've ever dated, they always are insecure around her because they know, like, she's who I love, not them.
Grid One Motorsports donated $200. I missed the bump up. To continue the thought, when you look back on a life of shattered relationships, it was your degenerate behavior that led to you being alone and the neighborhood cat lady.
But
So
Fans of the cat lady.
Grid One, appreciate the TTS. Yeah, we actually didn't do. We're not doing 69 today. We have a lot to get through, so it's just tuned up. But Grid One, really good to see you in the chat. Really quick, just before I have you continue. So Andrew's talking about paternity uncertainty, but given the nature of your relationship,
Right.
since you're both lesbians,
Right.
there's no scenario where she could doubt the
Exactly.
paternity if you two were to have. You'd have to adopt, or there would
Yeah.
have to be some sort of. You'd have to have a donor. So
Right.
it's not. You're welcome to chime in, but I don't think this is actually addressing
Yeah.
Andrew's argument.
I think it's
Can I say
addressing the
something?
insecurity portion, though. It's
Yeah.
just saying my partner
Okay.
didn't feel insecure
Yeah.
about me doing those things. In fact, she felt supported
Right.
because that
And
money helped
that's-
our dreams come
Wouldn't
true.
that be the
Right.
opposite?
Well, can I
of
just say one
insecurity?
thing? That's what, because when I was thinking, like, what would men potentially feel is lacking a security? And with that, honestly, we don't have that because there's no worry of a child. So we're just saying I see like how a man could feel that way, and that we didn't experience that. That wasn't something that was a point of contention in that specific
Sure.
experience.
Okay. Thank you. These women have nothing to offer, obviously. I just love seeing Andrew try to make sense with these women. It is so entertaining for me, as I always do. Whenever I see Andrew, I shout out his amazing wife, Rachel Wilson. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Adios. And I really like saying adios, apparently, lately.